How many of you guys went up to the convention at Montage? Yeah, you were there. Anybody else come by? No, missed it? I was up there. We had a foosball table in our booth, and I was trying to talk over everybody else that was there and the foosball table, and I lost my voice on Thursday. So I'll be drinking some Diet Dr. Pepper to try and keep my my voice up. And Diet Dr. Pepper, you guys can send me that check. Appreciate it. We're going to talk about Facebook fan pages today. Let's go ahead and swap over to my screen share. Start screen share, and we're going to go right here. Start off. How many of you have Facebook fan pages already? Anybody? Yes. You don't yet?
Not for real estate, no.
Not for real estate. Okay. Do you have a Facebook fan page? For what?
I own a small business that sells pillows and...
Cool. Owned.
Yeah.
I owned a small business too. No, I didn't get that lucky.
Yeah.
So, a couple of things. I have a video up. In fact, for those who are watching the video, here's where the video is. Utah Search Consultant, that's me. And the video is not posted. I posted it just a little while ago. Yeah, where'd it go? Anyway, the video will be there sooner or later. Let's see if it's still in my memory here. Control V. Yep, sure enough is. There. Post. Update. All right. Oh, my wife posted it. That's why we couldn't see it. So, in case you're wondering, if I were signed in as myself, then this page would look totally different. And we will see some images of what that would look like here shortly, but I hacked my wife's account. So we're actually doing all this posting as my wife. I do have permission. So a little tidbit. Any of you married? Pretty much everyone? Almost? Okay. Secret to a good marriage. Okay? The very key secret to a good marriage is let your wife know your password to everything and know hers. Okay? My wife knows every password I have. I know every password she has. And so I can hack her Facebook whenever I want. She can hack mine. If you're ever wondering about weird posts, they may be hacked. Okay? So I have done something a little different. You know, you guys are used to projected presentations all done with PowerPoint. Well, today we're not talking about PowerPoint. We're talking about Facebook. So what I have done here is put the entire presentation on my Utah Search Consultant page, and we are going to go through the slides on the Utah Search Consultant page. So I thought that was an interesting way of using technology to look at what we're working on. This is something that I only learned a little while ago. How many of you have heard of the text to like feature on Facebook? Okay, this is really cool, especially for you guys as realtors. This is a really cool tool because a lot of times you're with a client who really likes you. They want to engage with you on Facebook. You say to them, hey, go engage with me on Facebook, and they get busy and they forget, right? Pretty normal stuff. This feature allows them to like your page from your cell phone. So, step one is actually, shoot, the pictures came in backwards, so let's go to the last one. No, they are the right way. Take your phone out of your pocket or purse. I actually want you guys to do this right now. Pull your phones out. And the next step here is we are going to send a text to this number, 32665. That's a Facebook number specifically designed for text to like. And then you're going to type in like, and you can type in any Facebook fan page right here, but of course, you're going to do me the favor of typing in Utah Search Consultant right there and hit send. You will have liked the page. Yeah.
Well, just help me understand. So 32665 is Facebook.
It is Facebook's text to like number.
Okay.
It is very specific for this purpose only. And there's actually, that number works in all of North America and a handful of other countries. And then there's a whole list on the internet of other countries that that you can, use the same feature with. Okay. Yeah, so I just learned about this like a month ago, and I thought this was a really cool feature, especially for you guys. You're so portable, and your client base is so portable. It's far more difficult to get them liking you. So I thought, you're sitting there, you're at a closing, everybody's waiting for the paperwork that got filled out wrong the first time, and you go, hey, why don't you like my Facebook page? Pull out your phone, type in 32665. Now, I'm going to actually give you a little more help on this because you guys are all going to walk away from here and you're going to forget what 32665 is. So take a second and actually program that number in to your phone's contact list so that you can do this with your friends as something like Facebook like number or something like that. All right. So again, all of these things are up here on Facebook. So that you can go back to all my notes here. Also, the presentation page that I gave you for writing notes has a QR code right there. And if you type in qr.ai/Q2FTA, will take you to a page on my website that has further notes. And I'll constantly be updating that. I read a good article on one of these subjects. I'll post it on that page. So that content is always updating, and believe me, I read a lot of articles on Facebook and a lot of books on Facebook. Not only Facebook, but other social media applications as well. So let's go back here to Utah Search Consultant. And somebody liked me. We have 43 likes now, so somebody's a new like here. Okay, we're going to talk about the importance of goals for Facebook. Boy, it's getting warm in here. So, I have my own promoted hashtag, in case you forget it. If you ever have a question, hashtag Ask the Duce. Does anyone in here not know what a hashtag is or not know how to use them? You don't? Everybody else pretty familiar with them? Let's just touch base on that really quickly. A hashtag is a way of connecting information on various social media applications. It works on everything now. LinkedIn even works with hashtags. So a hashtag is the number sign plus all the words put together. You've seen them. But what they do is they link together various, it started with Twitter, link together various tweets. So you could click on that hashtag and you could see a list of all the other tweets that have that same information. It also allows me to put out a search, and I'm always looking for this hashtag. So if you guys are sitting there, something happens, your Facebook all of a sudden shuts down, you don't know why, you have some question, you can't find an answer to it, go to whatever social media you want, except Facebook. We have to be friends on Facebook, or you have to be doing it on my fan page for me to see it, because Facebook is kind of closed down, whereas the other ones are all wide open. And just type in whatever your question is, hashtag Ask the Duce. I'll find the answer if I don't know it already, and I'll answer you back through the same place. So, yeah, we already have a question.
Does that hashtag, that been an effective tool for people to connect with you?
I only created the hashtag about a month ago, started using it. I used to use different hashtags for every presentation that I used. You guys were both in my last presentation, weren't you? I had individual ones, and that never worked because I'm not a big enough draw, okay, for them to actually get any traction. So I went to a single hashtag, and I use it now at every presentation. I am starting to see some questions coming up and stuff, which is good, and I think it really will work quite well. You guys certainly, as realtors, could do the same kind of thing, okay? If you specialize in property management, you may, use a hashtag for any number of reasons. You could have a hashtag out there for homeowners who are, renting a property and have some problem, or you could use the hashtag just to connect your information together. Photos of Orem rentals, hashtag photos of Orem rentals, and so you're pushing with it. I'm using this to pull information in and to listen to the world, but you can also use hashtags to organize the information you're pushing out to the world. I promote a couple of hashtags. I help a 5K up in Salt Lake called Racing with Passion. They do 2 races a year, and we've promoted the hashtag SLC5K, and we use that as a way of pushing out information and broadening our base of people following us. So hashtags have multiple purposes, but they are active on Facebook now. The only difference is, like I said, on Facebook, a hashtag either has to be on a public page, so if you put it on my fan page or any other fan page, it becomes public. But if you put it on your own, just as a post of your own, I would have to be your friend to be able to see it. So if we're not friends, then I won't ever see those ones. All right, let's talk about goals a little bit. I love quotes. I'm a big fan of quotes. If you follow my Facebook fan page, you'll see I put up picture quotes. Often I take the pictures myself. This one I actually took. Does anybody recognize those? They're right in front of a realtor office down in American Fork. I don't know whose office it was, but I was in the office and saw those and thought, oh, that's cool. But the quotes that I've got right here are all about goals. Now, you guys are realtors. How many times have you heard presentations on goals? So you're like blue in the face, right? Over and over again. Now, some of you guys may have actually seen the little example that I'm going to do here, and if you have, well, great. This orange line isn't where I have to stop or where you guys have to stop. There's an orange line in the carpet here. I need 3 volunteers to help me out. You guys can go back and read these quotes later, but what we are going to do here is we're going to walk the line, okay? Can I get 3 of the 6 of us? We got 2. One more?
I should go. All right, I'll go.
Okay, so 2 of you are going to be pushing. I'm going to put it back on camera so that the people who are watching can see this. Yeah, that's funky. Okay, so 2 of you people are going to be pushers, not drug pushers, and 1 is going to be blindfolded. Who wants to be blindfolded? They're going to get pushed. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. You're going to put that thing on. You're trying to get over there to the camera. I'm going to stand close to the camera so that you don't, like, run into it. Once you've got that on, you're going to turn around backwards, and you're supposed to walk down this line backwards, blindfolded, while they're pushing on you. Okay? I hope not. Do I need, not pushing hard, okay? Just trying to push him off of the course. We want to see whether or not he can stay. Just try, you're not trying to kill him. Yeah, just light pushes like this. So just, okay, let's go ahead and have you walk. Yeah, just walk beside him. Go ahead and start walking and just kind of push him around. Now you're trying to just stay on that line and they're trying to get you off. Okay. There you go. You're feeling the texture. That was a good strategy. All right, that's far enough. Let's have you go back to the beginning of the line. Take off the blindfold, or you can wear it on your head. And I promise, we did wash that after the color run. Now, face towards the camera, you guys do the same pushing at the same rates that you were before, but I want you to try and get here to the camera and stay on the line. But you're not blindfolded now. Okay? So go ahead and push them. We should, yeah. Okay. That was, yeah, we could have just got it. I should have put that line a little bit further back. It was tough for her. This table was kind of in the way. What was the difference in your experience between those two? I mean, you found a pretty good trick, actually, to overcome most of the things I put in your way with being blindfolded. But what was the difference in getting from point A to point B?
And it was going forward.
Okay. You knew where you were going. You knew what your objective was.
And I knew where my obstacle was coming from.
Okay. So a lot of people jump onto Facebook. They'll jump on, create a fan page. They have no idea where they're going. No idea what their goal or objective is. Or they have the goal of simply getting thousands of likes. Seriously, you guys are realtors. How interesting do you really think you are?
I'm a property manager, so I'm
extremely
interesting.
Okay, we all kind of think that about ourselves a little bit, but the truth is, okay, part of why I put up my fan page, and you'll notice if I bring it, when I bring it back up here, that I do not have a lot of fans. 43 people. Okay? I'm looking for people to engage with me. I, on an average week, will have 200 to 300 people engage with my page. Now, if I had 1,000 fans and 4,000 people engaging, well, that would be even better. And hopefully someday I'll get there. But the point here isn't that you want to get thousands of fans, or that shouldn't be your goal. If that's your goal, you're going to kind of be pushed all over the place by trying little tricks that may or may not be that important. What do you think it is that you're wanting to get out of having a fan page?
Ultimately,
Business. Okay?
You want name recognition. So that when people say, hey, I'm going to sell a house, they say, hey, I know this guy.
Uh-huh.
And they can actually share your page with them.
Yeah. Now, in a referral base like that, in today's day and age, are people more likely to share your fan page or your website with their friends? Fan page, 1,000 to 1. Do you have a comment?
Yeah, I was thinking of something. I have a billboard business.
Okay.
One of the things about billboards is you can drive by a billboard. This is advertising psychology. You can drive by a billboard a million times and not realize that they advertise John Deere tractor. But once you say, hey, I need a tractor, all of a sudden you start noticing that Kubota tractor, the John Deere tractor, and there's a true sense to that because your mind has to be able to compartmentalize. And so if you're able to be in there on Facebook where they see you, even if they ignore you and they scan past you, forget about that house. You know, when they finally need that, there's a recollection that happens. And so it's sorry, it's probably totally irrelevant. But
No, not totally irrelevant at all.
I said the property manager was interesting, so I thought I'd try to talk about it.
Your billboard stuff. There you go. How many of you have heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? Nobody? Okay. If you're wanting to get into this stuff, highly recommend you either read his book Crush It or The Thank You Economy. Two really great books on social media stuff. Probably, in my opinion, the best. But one of the things Gary Vaynerchuk says all the time is, sorry, but he's bashing. He's really crass, okay? So if you don't like crass, don't go read his books. He doesn't curse or swear or anything, but he's outlandish. He's blunt. But about billboards, he says, seriously, you're driving down the freeway right now. Look to your right, look to your left. 50-50 chance one of those two people is not looking at the road, they're looking at the phone. Now, if that's happening, and they're not even seeing the cars around them, what do you think about the billboards? You know, and viewership of a lot of things. have been sidetracked by newer technology. We don't watch commercials because we all use Netflix or, you know, whatever app we use to watch TV. You know, billboards, magazines, newspapers, it's all kind of changing. And the beauty of that is, oh, I do too. No, actually, I got to say, I love marketing. And so I myself, by mistake, I hit the Pandora 1 on my Pandora account the other day and got the 1 week trial of Pandora 1, which means I had no ads. And when my trial was up, they're like, okay, do you want to pay $3.99 a month? And I'm like, no, I like the ads. Now, Pandora doesn't have as many ads as radio. Radio drives me nuts. But Pandora is just enough ads for me to be entertained. But that's me. I like marketing. I do notice billboards myself. I'm the guy that goes to the movies early, not just to watch the previews. I go early enough to watch the commercials before the previews. Yeah, it's, you know, and so I'm intrigued and I'm interested in anything that has to do with marketing. But the truth is, the world is changing. And so we're in a very different environment. And this allows us to potentially, not exactly level, but change the playing field. Okay? It was impossible for an average realtor to buy a billboard. Okay? And it's still impossible for an average realtor to have a Facebook fan page with 25,000 fans. Okay? But you can have a Facebook fan page with 200, 300, 500 fans and really good engagement, and you can get business from it. And at the end of the day, that's got to be your goal. But take some time and think about what those goals are. I haven't completely finished. You'll notice under a lot of these pictures that I've got up here, there's links in the picture to various pages. So like this one right here, okay, that link would take you to a page that is about learning more about cover page pictures, okay? Now those pages are not completely fleshed out right now, so you know, bear with me, but on this goals, I have a goals worksheet that I work from when I'm working with clients, and I am going to be posting a version of that up there so you guys can kind of work through some just really good questions that you should be thinking about as you're trying to write those goals. Okay? Let's talk about cover pages, because once you got your Facebook fan page up, that cover page is your first impression. Okay? It's the thing that you're going to see first and that everyone's going to see first. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? That's your cover page. So you got your cover picture here, and you've got your little individual icon picture down there. Now, if you're a business, this should be your logo, okay? But you're not. Most of you are not businesses. You're individuals. And even though you may have designed a logo for your real estate business, it's not really that recognizable. Your face is more recognizable. So use your face, and then, of course, I use this as a nice place. Every time I comment as that page, my hashtag is put up there again. Again, just another way to get more traction over time with that hashtag. Okay? Now, couple of things. This is only a month old. The ability to put in these pictures a call to action is something that you couldn't do a month ago. Okay? Month and a half, something like that. So now you can put a call to action up there. Everyone knows what a call to action is, right? It's basically a closing statement for an ad. Okay? You can do this different ways. You can write the link in, and people can type that into their URL. I've put it in the comments, so when you click on this picture, you click on the link, and there's your free web score. Okay? So that's how I chose to do it. Everybody can do this in a different way, but that's how I chose to do it. One thing you do not want to do is put anything on this picture that gives the people the feeling it's a button they can click on. because you can't do that. That Facebook page, the only thing you can do is click on that picture and it'll take you to the picture by itself like we saw. So if you create a button, you're confusing your clients. So when you're designing these, that's one thing to just keep in mind. Now, how many of you guys, I don't know how deep we want to dive or how high level. I've got a real simple way of creating these images. How many of you are skilled at like Photoshop, or you're skilled at Photoshop? Anybody else in here? Fairly, more or less, somewhat? Okay. Would you guys like to see a real easy, no-brainer way? You've probably worked with this particular app of doing these cover pictures?
Yes.
Okay, let's go through this. It's super simple. You're going to be surprised when I open the app at what it is I'm opening. Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, the reason I'm specifically using PowerPoint, A, it's simple. B, I wanted something because I knew we'd see what we're seeing here. We've got some IBM PCs, we've got some Macs here, and I'm a PC guy, so I can't tell you any product-specific apps, so I went with an app that I knew would be across platforms. The one thing that you can't do in here is set your pixels, okay? On a PC, you can do it very easily in Paint. So if you need to set your pixels, then that's something you would do before this step. For example, that cover picture is 851 pixels wide and 315 pixels high. Okay, and that's in my notes. So when you get home and you're trying to set up your ideal picture. But let's just show you how easy this can be doing it in PowerPoint. So you go Insert. We're going to pick a picture from Pictures of Me. I already set up the size of the picture the other day that I wanted to use for this presentation. Here's the picture. I'm going to improve on the picture that I showed you just a few minutes ago. I used the same background, but I noticed some things that were off. For example, one of them is like now, learn forever. Message. Oops. Okay. That doesn't work. This should be pointing at the like, which is right down from my shoulder there. Okay. The other thing is, I think there's too much information up there. So as I was thinking about it, I thought, well, let's go in here. We'll insert a shape, and we'll go to an arrow. Where is that? Here we go. I'm going to rotate that guy. Type in except I don't know how to spell. Copy and paste this. Oops, moved the wrong one. So this is not something that should take you a ton of time. Okay? Bring that in there. Make sure you drag the right one. What are some things that you guys could use as calls to action on your fan pages as realtors? Yeah, go ahead. Just shoot them out there because I'm not looking at you.
Helping them with tax protests, running CMA for that.
Okay.
Doing your house with Word
That would be a good one.
for a good time called TJ.
That's a great one. Oops. Okay. And then what do you do to turn this into a JPEG? It's actually really easy. You just save it as, and right here, pick JPEG. Go save. Current slide only. Now you come back over here to Facebook. Oh, I'm not in as administrator. But right down here, if you're in your administration page, right there, there's going to be a little button, and you click on that to change your cover page. Swap out the cover page. That's how easy it is. Now, will it be perfect? Will somebody who's an interior designer have one that's prettier than you? Yeah. But, hey, I heard you guys talking about some, what was the car dealership that had obnoxious commercials? Yeah. So you think about this. Back in the 80s and 90s, we all remember these obnoxious commercials. I mean, up in Seattle, there was a guy who beat cars. And I swear, every month he sledgehammered a different car on TV. And the next month he was out there, you know, mad something. I don't remember what his last name was. But he was beating cars. That's what he did on TV, just destroyed cars with a sledgehammer. The film quality was horrendous. If he was back-to-back with a Fortune 500 company, you could tell the difference in the film quality. But he got business, right? Do you think it matters that this is not perfect? If you're selling design work, then yeah, you better make that look really pretty. If you're selling homes, it's not quite as vital. One other point I want to point out here is there's already a lot going on right here in your picture. So you want to try and stay away from, leave that as blank space. So if you're doing a picture of a house that you've got a listing on, you may focus here and kind of fade through the yard over here. You see what I'm saying? That way, you stay away from that area. There's already so much busyness going on over there. You want to kind of draw the eye over here. You don't need to make your focus be the like button, okay? These are all controllable, these 4 tabs down here, and you could create a giveaway of some kind and make your picture point to that giveaway. I saw one that was really, really cool. It was 3 stripes that came down, came across. It was just a black background and 3 orange stripes. Came down, across, and right down through this. And this thing here followed those stripes through. Okay, and it was a contest. Okay, and there were words through that. I don't remember what the words were, but it talked about the contest through the larger center stripe right here. Really great, simple image, and fairly easy to create. So that's kind of your first impression, is your front page there. I got any questions, comments, ideas, suggestions on those? Okay, this is Gary Vaynerchuk right here. This is him speaking at a presentation a while ago. I was telling you he was kind of crass, but you can use various types of first impressions. Okay, his first impression is going out of his way to be chaotic. All right, and if that's your style, then you're going to weed out some people. But it may not be your style, in which case you want a first impression that is very clean. Look at who you are. Look at what you're about. Everyone in here is a different type of real estate agent. They have different prospective clients. What works for one of you, or what client you work well with, is different than the other people. That's why you're able to all be in business. Okay? So you want to figure out what's that first impression that you want to create, and then create that image on your fan page. Here is, I don't know why some of these didn't come in as all together. This is another one. This just shows you how big your fan pages can be right now. Okay? If that ever changes, you'll have a link on the page that this is linking to right here, this page here. If that ever changes, then this top image right here will change. Okay? So you guys can always just jump back there if something happens, and I'll have the size of that thing available for you. Okay. Facebook content. Now, as real estate agents, you guys have all been through sales classes, right? You've learned the importance of listening, I hope. You've heard it over and over again, classes on listening. It is absolutely the same on Facebook. In fact, possibly more so. How do you listen on something like Facebook?
Observing that feed, you got that feed on the side. I think the biggest mistake in social media is when you put yourself out there, and then when people start to interface with you, you're not responding, like showing that you're hearing what they're saying.
Or you're push. Every answer is, you know, like.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
There's one friend of mine who has just a crazy amount of traffic on his profile, and you know that one of his techniques is he asks questions. He's always asking questions.
Let me show you. This guy is so good, I'm actually trying to hire him, okay? And he does not do social media for a living. Am I allowed to say this? He's in my ward. Can I say that? But so both my wife and I follow him. Every morning, pretty much, he comes up with some question like this. Where is your passion? And no, I'm not talking about kissing. You know, here, this is my stepdaughter right here. You know, this is, I mean, look, this guy's got a conversation going on with my 18-year-old stepdaughter, who, ironically, this guy's the Sunday school teacher. He can't get her to even look at him in class. He can't get her to say a prayer in class. She will not engage with him. She's completely shut down in his presence. And then here on Facebook, by use of questions. What are some questions that would be good engagement questions for you guys as realtors to put up on your pages?
Nothing to do with you.
Absolutely true. Why? Probably the best thing you could have said. Why?
Because it's in your face. This is a social event, not a work.
Wow! Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Heads up, catch. The chewing gum that I'm throwing out is to say thank you for giving us something to chew on. Okay? That really was awesome. Like, if I were watching this video and not able to see you, I'd swear you were 22. Okay? That was absolutely dead on. 25?
41 years ago.
So, have you been reading some stuff on social media already?
No, I mean, I'm on it all
Or-
the time, and I just know that if I'm looking, if I see somebody posting something about, you know, hey, come and look at this house, whatever, it turns me on. I mean, I want to hear what's going on with your family and how you're doing. I just don't want to hear real estate.
Yeah, especially on your personal feed. Now, you can get a little more businessy on your business feed, okay, and you want to some extent. But you do want to make sure that you're engaging with your clients.
Yeah, so one of the things I did was I took a picture of all the ice cream in the ice cream section, and I just said, which flavor should I pick? I'm telling you, I had a gazillion people tell me, oh, you should get this, you should get that, because everybody's got a different. And a All I want to know is remember my name. That's all.
That is awesome. What is your what's your page? Do you mind me bringing it up? And I think it'd be helpful for everybody. Would everybody else like to see what he's doing? Okay. Dale. Okay. That one? That's not him. I'm Orem? Utah? So is it a personal page or a business page? For both. Okay. I'm not finding it here. Okay.
That's already bad news.
It is. And even though you're obviously doing some great things. I mean, you are. Your comments and stuff are dead on. One thing I do want to point out, definitely you do not want to try and create a business page as another person. Okay, Facebook does not like that. I've had, I don't know how many people I've had to go in and fix that mistake when they do that. They've even gotten their personal pages shut down for doing that, okay? You want to go in, follow the video that I put that link up, or that my wife put the link up on, and you will be shown the steps of creating an actual fan page. A lot of differences to an actual fan page over a personal fan page. One is it's more searchable, okay? The other thing is that a lot of people, myself included, I will happily follow all of your fan pages, okay, like all of your fan pages. If I ever see something like the ice cream comment on your fan pages, I'll share it to Utah Search Consultant, because what that page is all about is how to do social media and search engine optimization better. So I either present articles that I've read that I really liked there, or I'll present examples, though I also do put up pictures of my Great Dane sometimes, and I put up quotes. So that's what you're going to find on Utah Search Consultant. If you don't like those things, then don't follow me. If you do, then great. But your fan page, if you're doing it as a person, it limits you considerably on what you're able to do, who can engage with you. Total numbers, you can only have 5,000 friends. I don't know why Facebook decided that we're only allowed to have 5,000 friends, but as a person, that's it. But it's unlimited when it's a true fan page. So I would take the steps to create that fan page.
People more hesitant to become friends with you when you are doing it as like a person rather than a page because of their security settings. You can't access their personal information if you're doing a fake page, and therefore they're more comfortable with that. So I would say that's a key thing, especially in Utah where everybody's like freaking out about the man. So.
Oh, you think they're freaking out about the man here?
We're talking about his fingerprints on phones.
Yeah, no, but I grew up in Canada, and it's really interesting. Whenever I see a new high school buddy, I go and try. I mean, holy cow! You're lucky to see a picture of a Canadian if you're not friends with them. I'm not kidding you. They tighten those security settings. I swear they're teaching it at work and stuff up there. I don't know what's going on. I haven't lived there for like 30 years, so I'm not sure what's going on up there, but it's really weird. But you're right. People are conscientious about their information and their security. So that loosens things up a lot more because people don't know. I mean, you don't get their email address unless certain settings are set a certain way.
People look at them directly to get that anyway. It's not just like you're like a creeper and you're looking at every person who likes your page, then yeah, you could probably get some information.
Well, actually, there is a setting. You can usually get about 30% of people's email addresses by downloading them.
It shows that.
I'd have to be signed in as me. You know what? I will make a video of that. It'll be cleaner if I make it as a video anyway. But within the week, I will make a video of that and put it up on Utah Search Consultant and show you the steps that you go through to pull that down. Because if I don't do it as a video, it's going to take me 20 minutes. If I do it as a video, I'll be able to do it in like 6. So, let's go back to Utah Search Consultant. What do you guys think of this idea of using Facebook as a presentation platform? Is it confusing for you, or is it working? I've already figured out how I would do a Twitter one. If you think this is choppy, any of you that use Twitter, Twitter class based out of using Twitter as the platform, it would be. I have a personal belief. How many people in this room have ADD? I do. Yeah, okay. So here's my theory. You guys are all in my court. You guys are all in my court. Here's my theory. Yeah, squirrel. You've seen Up, right? Squirrel. Okay. No, here's my theory. My theory is that ADD is evolution's way of preparing us before we even needed these skills. See, if you think about it, back in the 60s, there was a little bit of ADD. By the 70s, there was quite a bit. By the 80s, when I graduated high school, it was just really starting to percolate. And, you know, people 40 years old and younger, like more than half of them have ADD. Okay? So, what was it? Well, seriously, can you imagine trying to manage Twitter without ADD? Like Facebook would be difficult. Twitter without ADD is just impossible. Okay? I think it was evolution's way of preparing us for this crazy, disconnected, disjointed world we're in. It's a skill set. Anyway, there's my thoughts on ADD. I have multiple blogs on ADD is short for advantage, and it's one of the things I also talk about from time to time. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about the importance of listening on your fan page as a way of creating engagement. But how many of you have played around with the new graph search? Haven't tried it? Okay. Anybody know what it is? What's different with Google's or with Facebook's new search?
Just automatically.
So you can do a lot of different things here. Give me a subject you guys want to learn about. Ponies. Okay? Do you want to know? Oops. How do you spell ponies? And why is my P not working? One N? I can't spell, I'm telling you. So, no. It is, yeah. Okay. Ponies is obviously a weird one. I thought we'd find something, somebody, but apparently no. Give me another subject.
Does this search your Facebook fans?
Yes. Friends who like,
In that spot where you're doing Facebook ads, whatever.
This is weird. Wow, this is not working on hers. This is one of the problems with a lot of Facebook features. They roll them out before they're completely working altogether. And they tend to roll out various versions, unfortunately. So mine is probably working more than hers is because I manage 15 fan pages. But I don't know for sure. Like this, for example, should be a much smaller group. But so you can see these are her friends that went to the same high school as her. Okay? You can go this will open up beyond just your friends to other people. This could be a way of you searching for friends. People who now, this would be a better search in Twitter. Yeah, it's not bringing anything up in Facebook because Facebook stuff is somewhat closed down. You can do a lot of things to use Twitter as a vehicle to find clients. If you guys want a Twitter class, we could do that at another time. But the idea of search graph is that it allows you to search like people I may know, friends, photos taken in New England Aquarium. You know, wow, weird. Why do any of her friends, why have they gone to New England Aquarium? But so you can find all sorts of interesting things and see connections. That's what it's about. They call it the social graph. That's Facebook's term for the way in which we're all interconnected through this web. So it can either be people, or it can be friends, or it can be friends of friends, that you can run searches for various types of subjects. So you may be able to use that as a way of increasing engagement or finding people that have some common interests that you want to bring into your fan page. How many of you have used ads on Facebook? Anyone?
I've seen that. It's like somebody does, and I like it. I share it.
The ads? Okay.
Great business for you, or I don't know. I mean, it's hard. I do it because I really want to. I want
Who do you work for? Old Republic. Mortgage? Real estate? Home protection. Okay. There's some interesting things that you can do with Facebook fan page or with Facebook ads that are not that expensive. This wasn't going to be part of the class, but I think it's some good information anyway. There's something called nano marketing that you pretty much can only do using Facebook or Twitter. Yeah, I guess you could probably do LinkedIn as well. You go into the settings and you can select right down to a micro selection what the interests of a person are, to the point where you could create an ad designed to go to you if you know enough about the person. So if there is somebody, let's say you happen to know, or you found out that maybe the CEO of some big local company is being transferred out. Okay, you find that out on Facebook, or not on Facebook, you find that out reading the Daily Herald, okay? Does anyone still read the Daily Herald? Do they still print it? You would be able to find out information about him and create an ad directed straight to him. Now imagine if it pops up in his Facebook on the side there, an ad that says, "Hey Bob, congratulations for the transfer to Chicago. I made you see this. Can we talk about listing your house?" I mean, you think the guy might call you? You'd certainly catch his attention. What do you think an ad like that's going to cost you? No, the irony is that the more you tighten up your targeting, the less it costs you. Might cost you. Exactly. There's no competition. It's their model is set up based on supply and demand. Well, nobody else wants that ad. So you can probably do that for $8, $10. And if he doesn't look at it at all, it'll cost you $0. Okay, if he never sees it because you over tightened it, which I've done, tried to send my wife one for our anniversary, and I actually over tightened it, and it still cost me 21 cents, and she never saw it. Somebody else did, and it said, "Happy anniversary, sweetheart, I love you." I don't know what I did wrong there, but anyway. But that's a neat little trick. You know, play around with that in your head. Think about what you can do with that kind of targeting. Or there's another version of it, which is called hyper-targeting, which is a little more open. You might be looking at 100 to 1,000 people that are prospective in hyper-targeting. Still, very inexpensive. Not the shotgun marketing that Old Republic is doing. They're probably spending a lot of money on that. But you do your homework first and then utilize it as a way of opening the door. All right. Let's see here. All right, where'd the rest of my slides go? Oh, here we go. Okay. These are out of order. But this is some of the information that you can get by using the Google Insights. How many of you that have fan pages have played around in the new Google Insights? Just barely. It's amazing how much more information is in there. One of the most important things, in my opinion, is, and I'm trying to find it here because these were supposed to be posted into a folder and it didn't happen. So, okay, this one's really interesting. This is it's a little hard to read what it says, so I'll read it off of here. It says best post types. This first one here is videos, photos, links, and then just updates. Now here's the thing. Up until 2 months ago when they came out with Insights, you could read article after article after article about what's the best kind of post to put up. And every last one of those articles was telling you different information. It was the most confusing thing. 2 subjects that the articles are just bogus on is what's the best kind of post and what's the best time of day to post. Hundreds of thousands of articles and studies on both of those, and until Facebook started sharing the information they already had, it was all bogus. Because for me, it's video. I get more likes, more impressions off of video than anything else. That's me. Other pages I manage, I checked all of them this morning, and they're all different. Every last page is different in what people are engaging with. So who cares what your page is engaging with? I don't, unless I'm managing your page. But you do, right? So who cares what some guy in New York is blogging about? What's the best type of engagement? So for me, it's video first, photos, then links, and regular comments people aren't that interested in my regular comments. I can guarantee you that that guy I showed you a little while ago, Jay, I can guarantee you if he was a business page, comments would be his big thing because he doesn't post anything else and he gets massive engagement. I wish I could buy the kind of engagement he gets. Okay? This is found in Insights. Let me find the picture that is the front page of this. Maybe these are in backwards. Yes, they are. Okay, so this is what your fan page looks like if you're actually in as an administrator. For a number of different reasons, as I told you, I logged in through my wife's account. But this is what my Utah Search Consultant page would look like, or does look like, from here. And where you click is right here, check out the page insights. That's what this says here, believe it or not. Check out the page insights. You click on that, and that's going to open up, that's going to open up this page right here. Okay? Good. I finally figured out the order these are in. This will help. So what this is giving you is your total number of page likes and the growth that you've gone through over time. You always could get this information, and it's really not hugely helpful, but it's there. Okay? The next, you drop down from there, and this gives you a little bit more information. You've got page likes here. You've got your post reach right here. So we've had 114% right there, and 100. Diet Dr. Pepper again. Yeah, that's another buck you need to mail to me. 106 post reach. So these numbers right here are showing you how many people are seeing the information. Okay? That number can be much larger than the number of people on your page, because people on your page make a comment, all their friends hopefully see it. Okay? Then you've got your types of engagement right down here. You've got your post reach. This gives you a day by day. You can go back through then and compare this to the various posts, and it can help you to understand what posts are getting more engagement, but you actually are given that exact information in another location. These are new likes right there. Page and tab visits. This is an interesting one. This is new, and it's really cool what this one does. This is the days of the week. How many, each day of the week, how many people that are on your fan page saw your posts. Okay? So my big day averages to be Friday, which is 34 of the 42 people that are on my page tend to see Fridays. What does this mean? Again, the article from the guy in New York doesn't matter, but when should I be posting? Thursday night? Okay, now here's another interesting thing, is the time of day. This is your average overall. But what happens if you're on your own fan page and you hover over the top of Friday, it'll actually give you a black line that'll be different than that. So you can actually see the average for Fridays, which, because this is just a photo, it's not working, but if I remember right, my fans tend to be looking at my page Friday night. So you want to post. Now, why is this so important? Does anyone understand how EdgeRank works? Does anyone know what EdgeRank is? Okay, EdgeRank is, and I think I got a picture here. Maybe I don't. Nope. Okay. EdgeRank is the way in which the news feed is fed. So when it's what you see in your page, okay? Let me bring up the picture that I was going to post because it really shows the image really well. So this is how EdgeRank works, okay? It's an algorithm, and it's affinity, weight, and time decay. Fancy words that only somebody like the people that run Facebook would come up with. But what does affinity mean? It's the friend interaction. So this side of EdgeRank is you like my fan page, you like my fan page, and you like my fan page. All three of you like my fan page. You have commented on some of my posts, you've clicked on some of my pictures, and you've shared something. You've only commented. You joined 2 months ago and never looked back. Okay? You are far more likely to get something in your feed. Now, that's only one piece of it. If one of my posts, and they call the object, is the thing that is posted, if one of my posts gets an unnormal amount of interaction, it will now start to feed towards people who are less likely to see it. So you'll see everything, even the crap. Okay? You'll see mediocre stuff and great stuff. You'll only see the really great posts. Okay? So that's the weight, affinity. This is weight, is the second side of it, and time decay. Time decay is really important, and that's why that information is so vital. That's why so many articles have been written about this. Time decay is how old is the post? The older the post, the less likely it is to show up. Now, what can beat its time decay? Yeah. Have you guys ever seen, for example, a post, you may have made a comment on it a year and a half ago on some friend's page, and all of a sudden it pops up on your page again? Yeah. I had that happen to me. A friend from New York was riding his motorcycle back home. He lives here now, and took a picture of the Utah State sign and how much he loved Utah State, and he was glad to be home. And one of his other friends from New York started bashing the state culture. And I jumped in and made some comment because at the time I had hair down to here. And, you know, the guy was overgeneralizing. And I'm like, yeah, those long-haired hippie Mormons was my comment, right? And that was it. That's all I had said. And then some other friend of his 2 years later made a comment on this thing, and it popped up in my page. Okay, and all of a sudden there it was again. I was watching this whole thing 2 years later. So that's how it is decided. So what is important? How are you going to get seen in people's feeds? What's going to be the trick based on what you're seeing here? It's multifold, but
It sounds like you gotta have some interaction. Because that interaction will kill over supersedes time. I had the same thing. I made for some reason, someone must have been just scrolling through my pictures. They found a picture that I took 2 years ago. All of a sudden, it was up on the newsfeed because there was a great picture.
Somebody liked it.
Yeah, somebody liked it.
And they liked it 2 years ago.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, I had like amazing interaction, and it was just a dumb picture that somebody, I don't know, somehow just liked. So I think that interaction of liking or commenting or whatever overcomes all that. Because at Google search too, or even at YouTube, they look a lot at what the interaction is. There's a lot of interchange and discussion about it. It shows that it's relevant.
Yes. Yeah.
In my experience, posting a picture with a question is the best way to get people to interact.
You're absolutely right. There are a number of studies on it. Now, the thing is that for some reason, Facebook has ranked the objects themselves, which can be link, video, photo, or just an update. Okay, those are the 4 types of objects you can have according to Facebook, and they have ranked them in backwards order for some reason. They want you to just be posting words. I don't know why. I think they want to be Twitter. I'm not sure. So just words is given greater weight as an object to get posted. And photos are less. But here's the reality. Regardless of their algorithm, engagement is so vital that you may get fewer original views on a photo, but you'll get greater engagement, which starts to, over time, overcome the time decay and create greater visibility over time. Okay, so you can literally beat the algorithm by doing exactly what she said. You post a full picture, and if you want to put a link, let's say, does anyone in here blog? Anyone at all? Soon, someday. Okay. If you don't, you should be. Okay. If you don't want to create a blog, then come to my class, which someday I'll hopefully teach you on Google+, because you can use that as your blog platform without actually creating a blog if you want. But you write some great article, okay, about local real estate, and you want people to go to your page. The best way to do that is to take a picture from within that blog that you posted, okay? Maybe it's City Hall, who knows, okay? Put that in your feed, and then in your write-up, finish it with putting up a link, like I did back over here. Right here. So I've got a picture that I took, screenshot of what I wanted to show you in the class, and I said, learn more here. Boom. Okay? That is better because it shows up in someone's feed this way. Okay? See, that huge picture takes up a massive amount of space, and so you're more likely to have it catch your eye over, well, I almost always do it. Okay, here's the alternative. Here's a link. It's to somebody else's information, okay? But I could have increased the potential engagement by taking one of the pictures off of that blog. It's not my blog, but taking the picture off of that blog, saving it to my hard drive, and there is nothing wrong with doing this if you're sharing it back to them, okay? Then post the picture in here and put the link just in the comments up there. This I shared as a link. You guys understand how to do each of those types of shares, right? That's nothing new to you? Okay. Does that make sense, the difference and why you get an increased engagement? I mean, are you going to engage with that big picture, or are you going to engage with this weird thing right here? Yes, they will pull up an image, but that image is going to be this size. Okay? This is actually, you'll notice the date on this, August 21st. I learned about what you're talking about in a article I read within the last few weeks. So you'll notice I don't do this anymore because even I'm learning all the time. Okay? So I posted that as a link, but today I would have taken that picture and I would have posted the picture and put the link up. Now, yeah, like I did here. So picture, well, that one's not, let me get to one that's in a folder. So here we go. Picture, link in the terms, right there. I would do the same thing now with a video, most likely. Though I'm getting huge engagement, again, back to your own insights, you need to be looking at those. everything I'm saying right now may be garbage for you. And you need to be reading your insights and seeing how are people engaging with you, right? For me, based on the article I read after August 21st, I'd be better off to put a photo and then the video link. But the thing is, right now my data is showing me that people are more likely to engage with my videos, I think because people know that I do a lot of video stuff. So what I need to do is keep doing what I'm doing with my photos, stop doing what I was doing with the links, using a photo and a link, and then watch what happens. And if photos start to float much higher than videos in a month or two, then I would post a photo of the video and put the link back to YouTube. But right now, for me, that would not be the wise thing to do. For you guys starting off straight out of the gate, I think put up photos, you know, if you're just getting started. Did I confuse anyone there? Does that make sense? Okay. So we were going through some, here we go. We're going through some of this. I just wanted to show you one other thing. No, we're going this way. Age and gender, that's the same as the old stuff. Best post types. Oh, best time types. We did talk about that already. Okay, so I think we've covered most of what I wanted to cover today. Does anyone have, you know what, you deserve gum. You made us chew on that. Does anyone have any comments, questions, insights, things they'd like to learn at a future class?
I just got a question. I don't know, mostly on liability stuff. You know, if you want to defer, I can call an attorney or something. But you know, one of the things that, you know, property management, we have all sorts of stories that happen as a result of our gig, and those are fun to share. And I know that those would generate a massive amount of interest in sharing, and so we want to capitalize on that. But I have some concern about making sure that I don't open myself to. I mean, it's all going to be true, so it's not like it's libel or slander or anything like that, but some of them are pretty interesting. So I'm kind of a little curious if, you know, we plan on only, you know, obviously having true stories, anonymizing them by not having actual names. I was just wondering if you had any additional thoughts on that. Probably not criticism. I'll exclude those. No judgment, just facts.
Never
right?
criticize.
That's good. That's good insight.
Even if it's totally true, I wouldn't do it. Some of these guys have a make away with client stuff. And the problem is if you ever criticize a client, and the client that you like, when they hear you criticizing the other client, they're always wanting to see criticizing me behind my back too. It's never ever always build up your clients.
Absolutely.
And never criticize me.
Yeah. Now, flip side, I've got a blog out there about an American Airlines experience. A lot of my friends told me that, you know, well, that was dumb. You just upset every American Airlines person out there. You know what? They messed up. I told the truth of what they did. And if they don't want to do business with me, I guess that's a bummer. But
I see that as different though.
that's why I bring it up, because
Yeah, personal. Yeah, 'cause I remember one time I went through. This is true story. I am not making this up. This is too good to be true. This guy said, I show lots of properties. I do lots of lots. So this guy comes in and says, "Hey, can I show you this lot?" I'm like, "Get in the car. Let's go right now. Let's go up the street. I'll just help you out." Between there, not even 3 minutes, he got 3 phone calls from his wife, and every time he ended the phone, it was like this. "No, I love you. No, I love you more. No, I love you. I love you more. You hang up here. No, okay. Oh, he did that like 4 times. I wanted to grab the phone and throw it out the window and puke. I mean, he honestly, to goodness, did that. And I didn't post that on Facebook.
with the picture of the guy.
He did it like 6 times in about a 15-minute drive. And I thought, you know what? Are you kidding me? Yeah, he must have been. He was like, he was pretty young. He was like a newlywed. I'm like, I'm like, so you like your wife, huh? You know, so, but you know, I did that one time. And if I posted something saying, you wouldn't believe this idiot, you know, and then.
Well, I think that's a good takeaway. Just make sure that your tone is appropriate and what you're saying.
There's an agent that has like a Facebook on his Facebook page who send me your craziest pictures of houses, the craziest things you've ever seen in a house.
I've got a cool
I had a Bacon home. The bathroom was maybe this big, and for some reason the door like went the wrong way. They actually cut a hole in the door so it go on the toilet. Oh my gosh! You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I can get
When
it.
it was shut, it was this like silhouette of the toilet. Anyways, it is the silliest thing I've ever seen, but that got on there. And it was a fake house, so I didn't care at all. But I'm sure he's posted something in somebody's house that person's like mad about.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's on there, but he was getting like 50 comments on this. And there was a part of me that was kind of like, I wanted to post that. It's my house, you know. But just curious on how that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but
You know,
he created this incredible.
you can create an incredible. I've got. I used to be a roofing contractor years ago, and got into social media by actually marketing my old business, and found that I fell in love with this. And then we all know what happened in between 2007 and 2010, don't we? But in the process of that, I started following a gutter contractor in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Winnipeg, yeah, in Canada, okay? And this guy has a weekly blog that he writes about the dumbest gutter installation he's seen that week. And he's funny as heck. And, you know, he's driving down the street. I swear I can imagine this guy, oh my gosh, runs up some guy's street, and you couldn't tell anything. Like, these are like, you know, up close. I mean, all you're seeing is like these teeny little things. But this guy's got, on Twitter, he's got like 50,000 roofing contractors following him all over North America. He's practically a freaking celebrity out of goofy gutter pictures. You know, so you can create some pretty massive traction. You want to watch out about criticizing.
Home inspectors that have done that too. Inspecting homes, you know,
Yeah.
I started posting, I'm a scoutmaster, I've been there for 16 years, so I started posting things that just,
You're obviously not that good at knots.
obviously swearing hasn't been like a prerequisite for dismissal, but they have I started posting them, I started writing in my journal funny things that happened, and I wait a year or two before I post it, so I don't have time.
Yeah.
But, actually,
he
I got-
uses Hootsuite feed and times it out.
I've had a few like reposts and stuff. Even Studio C made a comment on like Scoutmaster Dan's comments. Anyway, but those I get great comments for, and has nothing to do with real estate. And I have some crazy stories. This stupid thing. So I can't wait 2 years.
Well, some you probably don't have to wait 2 years. You know, the kids are going home and laughing about them themselves, I would assume. Anyway, I've run over by about 15 minutes. Thank you so much for being in the class.
Yeah, that was great.
Again, ask the Duce.
You actually taught the technical something. That's saying something. That's great. That's good stuff.
So when is our next tech committee meeting?
Tomorrow, upstairs,
At what time?
1 o'clock.
I might not make it, or I might be late. I'll be in touch. Thank you so much. Let's stay engaged online. I know. Well, maybe the people watching online are clapping.
I am so grateful you watched this Black Hat Free production by Utah search consultant Dennis Duce, the White Knight of online marketing.